you took advantage of the situation and you did your seva. Yes.
Langar. When we go to Gurdwara in India, they really, giving langar like this and half on the floor and half on the tray. And in here, even we are on tables or benches, at least we
there
respect.
Is some. Yeah. I take your point. The serving of langar needs to be drastically improved in India in some situations. I don't think they're all like that, but a lot. I bet a lot of them are, because when you're serving 1,000 people, I don't really blame the sevadars. If they spend too long on each person, it would take obviously double the time. But I take on board BBG's point that surely langar should be respected. Though. You can't just sort of throw it away. And someone just like throw the prashad. I think that is wrong. They need to correct that. However they correct it, they need to correct it.
There is still like a store road when they do floating down on the floor. You can still repair down on the floor, so it is possible.
In today's video, we saw that the thali going like this, not like in the hand or anything.
I mean, I'll not yet come up with an idea of best langar. I mean, serving point. The Saurod serve it on. They say sit there, and somebody will come to you with the langar, right? Others say stand in a queue and get the langar. At the moment, I'm preferring the stand in the queue, because at least you get in the queue and get it. I went to wedding on Saur Road, and I sat there waiting and waiting and waiting. Somebody came with one thing. I said, okay, where's the next thing then? Then I got the next thing. Then I'm waiting for the water, and the water never came. I thought, well, this can't be right. If I'd gone in the queue, I would have got everything in one go, and I would have eaten my langar, gone. So I think the queue process was probably the best. You stand in a queue, get your langar, and eat it. I think if you're fit, you should sit on the floor. If you're unfit, then I don't think it's an offence to sit on the table if it's provided. When Gurdwara started in this country, and I'm going back now 1960s, right, well before you all were born. I was a Mona. I came into, well, no, I should say I came to Sikhi. Guruji blessed me with his Sikhi. When my grandma died, she passed away in this country, she's very old. And at her Sajpad Pol, they brought the beat from the Gurdwara, the Granthi came with the beat, and all the money was money. I was money anyway, so it didn't even matter, does it? So, then we started going to Gurdwara. When, after the Pol, we was over, Gurdwara, there's one. So, started going regularly, me and my uncle. And that's how I started coming to Gurdwara. And I saw then that though these people are Mone, they drank, they ate meat, they still ran a Gurdwara. In those days, when everybody was Mona, what did they need to run a Gurdwara for? They felt the need that Sikh should have a Gurdwara. So I'm always now careful not to antagonize the very people who brought me into Sikhi by having a Gurdwara. So I say, don't antagonize it, do it with love. Try to encourage the people who are in that way to say, look, we have now, Sikhi has now advanced. We should, if we can, get sevadars who represent Sikhi in a bit better way than you yourself can. He might say, no, I can represent Sikhi better than you can. And as, that's expected, but he might be sensible. Next time, but if we do it by force, right, then we antagonize the situation and it makes worse for the Sangat. And the Sangat say, I think what I say, Shanti we lose the battle. So I think let's not judge people just on their appearance, but by all means encourage individuals and the Sangat to get near to Guruji as close as they can, without drawing our swords all the time and saying, right, it's do or die, we're not going to let them in. Because let's face it, most of the Gurdwara started by them, the Munis. Sorry, yeah.
I think another issue is that the one, when you're Sikh, when you have no differences with anybody, sometimes the situation in Oxford is very much of, I can sort of put it across to you that there's a two Sikh and the rest of them, they have sharab every day, they have meat and they have everything, But if you abandon them, then you have no Sangat in the Gurdwara and nobody will be running the Gurdwara Sahib or there will be no form of committee or anything like that. So I think, Faisal, what they're saying, I think it's quite right that with understanding, I think you can. But if you're a Gursikh, you must have ego. And I think a lot of the Gursikh don't want to come in the front because they don't have an ego. But the people who haven't reached there yet, and they have an ego, they want to be present, they want to be something, they work for their name rather than the Guru. So it's a difficult one, but it will happen with the time, I think.
The amazing thing is, all those that were in the committees in the 60s and the 70s eventually not kept hair and wore the stars. They didn't change. They didn't change perfectly. They didn't change drastically. They didn't change. They did change their appearance. So it did work in the long run. If the people had abandoned and chucked them out, what would they achieved? They had I mean, it's probably going to shock you, but in our Gurdwara in Leicester, the first Gurdwara, the North Gurdwara, we had granthis, right? And the granthis were not all they should have been. Let's put it that way. They're a bit naughty. And one of my mates said to me, hey, them granthis are not very good. When the Sunday the one finishes, they're no good. I said, what do you mean they're no good? He said, they make meat in the Gurdwara. I said, how do you know? Because he used to learn tabla from one of them. He says, no, because I'm sometimes here, but I don't like what they do. I said, wow, they're not going to admit that. And we can't accuse them of that without having any evidence. I said, the only way we can have any effect is for you to tell us when they're doing it. And if they're caught, then obviously they'll be punished. And we knew then that there were only few Amritaris at that time, because Sikhi was just sort of starting then. The rest of the committee was Munnis. And they all eat meat and shab anyway, so what are you going to shab to? But here was a test for the Munnis. One day, my mate phones me. Says, hey, they're doing it today. Right now they're doing it. Are you sure? I said, yes, they are. So I phoned some other mates. I said, well, this is it now. And we thought, now do we go there with our swords out and sort the granthi out, or do we use our cocoa? And I said, no, we're not going in there like that. We want somebody from the committee who can punish them. Why should we be the bad guys? We went to a person they had appointed as chairman of the committee, not the Pradhan, the chairman. He was a Munna. He said to him, we have information that the Granthis are making meat in the Gurdwara. He said, what? He said, yeah. He said, no way. He was eating meat himself and drinking it. But to his own credit, he was totally against these sort of acts in the Gurdwara. He said, what? Kufr in the Makkah? You can't do that. You can't do this in the Gurdwara. He said, come and show me. He came with us. We went to the Gurdwara, and when we entered the Gurdwara, we knocked on the door, and Granthi, oh, his sort of, face went white. He said, God, these jammers are here. Because we were always troublemakers, we used to be strict, and you say, this should go on the Gurdwara, this should go on the Gurdwara, and the committee was sort of fed up with us as well, so we had a bad name, so we better watch it now. And this chairman, he said, Gyani ji, ki kar rahe hain? Kuch nahi kar rahe, kuch nahi. And he started going down the kitchen because we were downstairs. Ki banane hain? Kuch nahi banane. He went to the kitchen and nothing there. So he started looking at the dishes. Suddenly he found it. Gyani ji, aap ki banaya? And his face sort of suddenly, he said, you've got a week. Before next Sunday, you better be out of this Gurdwara. And all the Singhs were saying to me, hey, we open our own nest here. The Panth has got one view on meat. Some eat it, some don't eat it. Even Amritaris. How can it correct that? So Gyani says on the stage, Panth kehna meat kha sakte hain. Ja, meat is two views. How can it can't? So don't worry about that. If he says that, I'll have to contract with Gurbani also, right? And so they were relying on me to converse with him. If he's going to put a challenge in the Sangat, I said, don't you worry about that. I don't think you'll get to that point. I said, this chairman will sort it out. And the chairman said to him, if you're not out before the Sunday Divan, I'll personally make sure you're out. And before Sunday, he was gone, because he knew that this Mona meant business. He wasn't going to argue with him on philosophy. He was going to argue with him on a punch on the nose or something like that. Well, fine, that was it. So sometimes discussion always works. Sometimes the danda works. And because Gyani knew he was in the wrong, right?